For years, the Biden administration was encouraging states to build electric vehicle charging stations using federal grant money.
Well, that policy is changing under Trump, and it could leave Texas caught in the middle. Here to help explain where things stand, Jeremy Portnoy from OpenTheBooks.com. Good morning, Jeremy.
Good morning, Allison and John Carlos.
Well, thanks for being with us. How could this policy change impact Texas here?
Yeah, well, back in 2022, right, Biden promised he was going to spend about $5 billion around the country to build these electric vehicle chargers. Texas was going to get $408 million of that. That was more than any other state. But so far, they've only received a little more than half of that money. And last month, Trump actually paused the program. The Federal Highway Administration says they're going to be reviewing the guidelines to update their current priorities. So we're assuming that means less electric vehicles, more gas-powered cars. But Texas already has plans in place to build these chargers. Now it's unclear what's going to happen next.
Jeremy, is there anything Texas could have been doing differently?
Well, they could have built these chargers faster, right? Instead of waiting for things to change or this program to possibly get altered under Trump. It was up to Governor Abbott to decide where to build the stations. Only 3 of them have opened so far in Texas. 2 of those are owned by Tesla with more on the way. But that's a problem we're seeing all around the country. There was only about 31 stations open at the end of last year. Rhode Island finished building theirs because they only built 2 of them, but every other state is behind.
Yeah, we have a lot of people here in the Austin area that use EVs, so this is definitely a big topic for them. What happens to the money now?
So now it's unclear if Texas is ever going to get that extra $200 million that it's still waiting to be delivered, right? They already have 3 stations that opened. There's 30 more that they promised to build, 80 more that they promised to build at a cost of $30 million. Trump said those will be unaffected since the plans are already in place. But that money that hasn't been sent yet and hasn't been obligated, the states are going to be allowed to repurpose it if they don't use it. So it's going to be up to Texas to decide if they do get that money, do they use it for chargers or use it for something different?
Well, Tesla headquarters are here. You see those everywhere around Austin. Jeremy, how many EV drivers are in our entire state, and what does this mean for them?
So right now we've got just over 230,000 electric cars registered in Texas. There's almost 11,000 public charging stations to support them. But if more people start buying electric cars and the state actually wants to seriously convert to an electric fleet, that's not nearly enough stations. The EPA says you need about 1 every 3 miles away, no matter where you are. And Texas is actually further away than any other state from meeting that goal. They would need to build another 16,000 for that to actually happen. So even if this federal program went through to the end and it wasn't disrupted, Texas would still be really far away from actually having enough charging stations to support all these cars that could possibly be used in the future.
Yeah, all those cars and all the travel needed to get in and out of the state here. Well, great information you share with us, Jeremy. Thank you for chatting with us.
Of course, it was good to see you.
You too, and you can always find these reports at OpenTheBooks.com.